I'm going to talk about drugs, alcohol, addiction. Actually, one of the biggest addictions that is affecting all of young people at the moment is, as we know, online addiction. Yeah? Agree? You agree with me? Online addiction is affecting everybody at the moment. People spending too many times on their phones, on tablets, on gaming platforms. People are spending 6, 8. And then how do you know that something is an addiction? How do you know it? Because when you take it away, inshallah, I'm going to ask you afterwards, when you take the thing away from them, they get annoyed, they get angry, they feel bad. They want to go back to it. It proves it's an addiction. It's controlling them. Yes? This is the thing why addiction is bad in Islam, because this thing that you are becoming addicted to, it's controlling you, it's pulling you towards that, away from Allah. This is the thing. Now, why this is an important subject? Because as we know, the Quran, it talks about addiction, and it talks about these things. You see, everything that we are here to do is to teach and to make sure that we avoid all the bad things, and we only do that which is good. So we do that which is halal and tayyib, halal and good for us, and we avoid that which is haram and khaba'ith, bad for us. This is what Islam has come to teach us. It's one of the most important lessons from Islam for us. Everyone's going to present it in a way, and this is the thing. Shaitan presents this stuff in a way it looks good. The verse in the Quran, actually, it goes like this. إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ, and the term khamr is the term for all of these things which are addictive. Okay? Because they take you away from basically your religion. إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ وَالْمَيْسِرُ, gambling is another one. People don't realize gambling is also taking away. People end up gambling, losing lots of money, ending in debt, having mental health problems. We're going to talk about that tomorrow. So it goes, إِنَّمَا الْخَمْرُ وَالْمَيْسِرُ وَالْأَنْصَابُ وَالْأَزْلَامُ رِجْسٌ مِّنْ عَمَلِ الشَّيْطَانِ. This is the work of shaitan. Handiwork of shaitan. And Allah says, فَاجْتَنِبُوهُ. You've got to leave it. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. If you want to be a successful person, if you want to be successful, you've got to leave these things. Because these things are controlling you, are changing your brain. Look, it's called the mind. They destroy your brain. They actually change the way your brain works. That's why it's called khamr. It changes the brain. Your brain is out of it. It changes your body. It damages your body. It damages your ruh, your soul, your connection with Allah. And it also damages society. These are the 4 things I'm going to do with you today. Why this is such a bad thing. If you look at the worst drug in the world, what do you think is the worst drug in the whole world out of all the drugs? Although all the drugs are bad, which is the worst one? What do you think? Name some of the things out there first. Come on.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes. Very good.
Cocaine.
Cocaine. Okay, yeah. Straight to the hard one, yeah. From the... Heroin.
Weed.
Weed. Hey. Meth. Alcohol.
Beer.
Beer, yes. Tobacco, nicotine, yes. From the sisters, anyone from the sisters? Name some of the bad stuff out there. Balloons. People have talked about balloons, yeah. Now this is the point. Most people say I'm a leader, but actually when you really look at it, you end up following other people. It's called peer pressure. Okay? And how do you resist peer pressure? This is the number one thing. The reason people have peer pressure and they can't say no, and sometimes they even feel forced to do it, because they make fun of them, because they say, oh, why are you not doing it? Well, are you a coward, or are you a chicken, or things like this, and they'll use bad language, and they'll say, oh, why aren't you taking this? Okay? So they put a lot of pressure on the person, shame the person. So the number one way that you stand against peer pressure is that you have to have what I call strong belief yourself. Agree? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Say yes. Aye. Okay, good. So the next thing I want to ask you is this question. How are people introduced to all this stuff? Weed, drugs, alcohol. Where do they get introduced? The people, the places, okay, the reasons, yeah? So where else do you get caffeine? A lot of young people drink these drinks.
Energy drinks.
Energy drinks, yeah? You know, Boost, and Red Bull, and Monster, and all of these, and even this, the new one, what is it? Pride? What's it called?
Prime.
What's it called? What's it called? The new one?
Prime.
Prime. So let's go through it. The number one place where we get, again, peer pressure is bad company. Bad company. Guys, this is it. Simple as that. That's why I began. You have to look after each other. You've got to look after the young'uns. And you've got to look after people out on the street that you know. Because if they end up in a bad crowd, and that crowd is putting pressure on them, and there are people who are dealing and doing it, and it all starts in school, right? Let's be honest. If it's all happening there, then what's going to happen is that you're going to be exposed to it. The number one thing which will help you, and help you to protect your young'uns, the young'uns out there as well, is if you have what I call strong self-belief. Strong belief. And what we call self-esteem. You have a strong belief in yourself and that to keep away from these things. And that's what we've got to build. It's called a strong sense of who I am, myself, my belief. I am a Muslim. I'm here to worship Allah. I'm here to do what pleases Him. I'm going to keep away from the harmful things and stick to that. When you have a strong belief in this, even though everyone else is against you, and the society is against you, and other young people are doing it, but I have a strong belief, then guess what? You stay away from this stuff. Okay, you're not going to be influenced by the bullying, the peer pressure, the shaming, all of these things, because you're going to say, you know what, you know, I don't need to be in your cool crowd because I'm happy with the way that I'm living my life. This is just like the Prophet, peace be upon him. In his society, people were doing lots of bad stuff. He didn't follow the bad stuff. He had to follow his own way, go against the whole society. So sometimes we've got to have a strong belief ourselves. Number two, know the risks. So when you know how these things are so harmful, and a lot of young people do not know how harmful, as I said, vaping is. They just don't know the harm that it's doing. And that's why we want to keep health. Okay, have strong values. So you can say no. You can say, stand up for yourself on what you believe in. Okay, and if you have positive goals in your life, and you want to achieve positive goals in your life, then again this pushes you towards that place. So for example, if you want to do your studies, get your qualifications, get your GCSEs, do your A-levels, go to university, get a degree, get a good job, this is called goals in your life. If you want to be a sports person and you're doing your sports, whether it's kickboxing or whether it's football or whether it's, you know, another sport, okay, and you realize, or you want to just do fitness and you're doing fitness and you realize, okay, this is really harming me, again, it's going against your goals. If you realize you want to have a good family life and you want to get on again, and it's making you angry, so a lot of the things like, for example, taking Red Bull, okay, vaping, all of these things, gaming addiction, they create anger, you know, because when you don't have these things, you feel irritable. So this is why having strong goals, yeah? There's a verse in the Quran, it goes, وَلَا تُلْقُوا بِأَيْدِيكُمْ إِلَى التَّهْلُكَاتِ, which means do not put your hand to your own destruction. What that means is this. The body that Allah has given us is a blessing from Allah. It's called an amana, which is a gift from Allah, our physical body. And so therefore, for our physical body, we are not allowed to do things which harm this physical body that Allah has given us. You're not allowed to harm the mind. And you're not allowed to the liver and your heart and things like that. So smoking is something which is directly harming the physical body. What are parents doing to stop online addiction?
Nothing.
Nothing. You're right, yeah. Because they let you on. Okay, so first, what is the bad thing about online addiction? What's the bad thing that it's doing? Sisters, things about online addiction and how it's affecting young women and girls in particular, online addiction, what is it doing to them? Because there's a lot of research around women and social media and Instagram and looking at social media posts and TikTok.
Behavior change.
Okay, it's changing people's behavior, they get more aggressive, they get rude, they learn bad manners, they get irritable, yeah? Back?
Self-esteem issues.
Yes. That's the number one thing here. What's happening in, this is a very important point here. What's happening in social media is that people are looking at this so-called glamorous lifestyle and the way that people look. And they're thinking, why don't I look like that? Why don't I have this life? Why don't I behave in this way? Why am I not happy? Why am I not traveling? Why am I not going to these people? And you therefore, as a result of that, think your life is really bad. And you think that you are worthless and these people are valuable. That's the thing, based on the life that they're living. And a lot of people want to get that life. And remember what I said, the number one thing which causes addiction and causes people to end up in bad places with drugs and peer pressure is low self-esteem. So think about it. This is why I said it's designed by people to not make you feel better about yourself, to make you feel worse about yourself, and then if you feel worse about yourself, they control you more and they give you things that make you feel better, but they don't make you feel better. So they are controlling you, and they're controlling because they control this. As I said, we are here to protect the mind. This is why people seem to think, oh, it's not that bad. It's really bad. You know how much gaming, what's the limit of gaming? Guys, I'm going to ask you, and sisters as well, what do you think should be the limit of your gaming and online activity?
1 hour and 17 minutes.
1 hour and 17 minutes. Oh, okay. How do you get the 17 minutes? Tell me. Very good. I like it. Okay.
1 hour and 30 minutes.
1 hour and 30 minutes.
8 hours.
8 hours. Hey. You think 8 hours is healthy? Oh, tell me why.
Because I get bored.
No, this is the whole thing. It's designed not to make you bored because it's continuing to give you a buzz. So that's why it's not good. 8 hours is a lot of waste of time as well.
2 hours.
2 hours, okay.
12:30.
2 hours 30. Sisters, how long do you think online activity go on?
20 minutes.
20 minutes? Yeah, in the middle. Shh, quiet. 1 hour?
Half an hour just like
Half an hour, okay. Shh, can't hear.
2 hours 55 minutes.
2 hours 55 minutes. Very good. At the
3
back.
hours.
Huh?
3 hours.
3 hours, okay. So we have a lot of things, yeah? Okay, so when I talk about online addiction, I'm not just talking about gaming. I'm not talking about gaming. I'm talking about smartphone. I'm also talking about your laptop or tablet. And I'm talking about also just the online surfing. So all of your online activity. How long should we spend on this? This is a big question. And even adults as well. So it's not just for children, young people, it's adults as well. How long should we spend on it? And this is my answer. The minimum we can do it. The absolute minimum we can. Really, that's it. For me, I only do it for work and that's it. I do not want to spend time on it. So if I'm going to do it, it's work, study, that's it. And maybe a little bit of time, downtime, half an hour, no more than 1 hour. Absolutely no way more than 1 hour. Let me tell you what we need to do. Some people talk about Quran, remembrance of Allah, all of these things. Yes, good. Get out there, do some sports, do some physical activity, help your parents, do something alternative that gives you more benefit. And for me, let me tell you one of the most important thing for young people to do, spend that time, don't be online, spend it learning sports, fitness, improving your strength, improving your, like I said, intellectual, do it on doing really beneficial things for yourself. Because really, you'll realize that all the time that you're spending online, the more and more it's doing, like I said, it's altering your brain. It's the same thing, I've said it all the way through. And then when we alter the brain, look at it, I start getting angry at people. Is it not true that people who don't swear, when they're online with headsets, they end up swearing? Isn't that true? Using bad language? True? Yeah, all of this stuff. You can see how it's changing your behavior. So we have to do something, provide a more powerful alternative, which is not involved in these things. And, for us, the final point, look, Allah has told us all these amazing principles to protect ourselves. The more the research is done in society, guess what? The more they are finding out what we already know. I said that amazing principle, I said, yes, alcohol has some benefit, but the harm is greater than the benefit. So Allah says, because the harm is greater for you and for society, it's not enough. So inshallah, Allah protects all of you. Allah make you leaders, inshallah, ameen. Look after each other, educate each other, be role models for each other. Inshallah. Good. Jazakallah khair. You're brilliant, mashallah, today. Alhamdulillah.